Hi everyone, my name is Motuka Busayo. I want to use this medium to welcome everybody to this workshop. First thing first, I would like to introduce who we are at Code 14 because this particular workshop is organized by Google and is brought to you by Code 14. At Code 14 is a research lab that is focused on empowering educational system to teach computer language as a classroom subject from as early as elementary, level 3. So it's also important to let us know the purpose of this training. Like I said, this training is organized by Google. So the objective of this training is to improve the safety of children on how they can use the internet. Also to train teachers so that teachers can go back to their various school and educate students on how to be safe on the internet. So we are going to have a lot of fun today. I need everyone to be able to hear me loud and clear. So at any point in the training, if there's any question we need to ask, please feel free to comment in the comment box and I will do it to respond. So let's talk about it. So before moving forward, it's very important to let everybody know that this training is for the children under the age of 7 to 14, just like I've mentioned earlier. And I believe I'm together with teachers and trainers. So this is more or less like I'm passing this information to teachers, and teachers will go back to their school to replicate the same thing with their students. So we are talking about how the student can be safe on the internet. This is not to say that we want to scare them from the internet. So the aim of this workshop is not to scare them from the internet. You will all agree with me that the internet is a powerful tool. We can do many things online. So to start off today, we are going to have some fun and find out how you like to use the internet. So by the time they are having this training with their students in their various school, they should try to ask the students some questions before moving forward. Try to find out how they are using the internet. Example is they can ask the students if they have ever used the internet. They can ask them if they use the internet once a month. They can ask them if they use the internet once a week, and so on and so forth. So by doing this, the student will be eager to know what is next. So also, we should also try to ask them what they do on the internet because a majority of parents and teachers believe the students are online to do their homework and to probably play games. But this is not always the case. The student can get carried away while on the internet. So we can as well make inquiry. So teachers should ask them do you use the internet to chat with friends? Do you use the internet to do your homework? Do you use the internet to share photos of yourself and family? Do you use the internet to share funny photos and videos? So with this question, the student you will see them raising up their hand to actually respond back to you, and you'll be amazed with kind of question, with kind of answers you will get from them. So there's a technique we are going to advise teachers to adopt in this training. By that teacher is having this training, they should endeavor to group the students in pairs of group like four. So put them in pairs of group. So each student in each row is given a survey question, and you need to give them like 2 to 3 minutes to actually like organize themselves and give a response back. So these are the methodology we're going to be using when we're having this training with the students. So let's jump in and learn more. So we're talking about how we can ensure that our students, our little ones are safe on the internet. So we are going to be, because of this, we're going to be looking at bad guys on the internet. They are called bad guys. I'm sure you can see what's on my screen. So we have four bad guys. So the first out of them is the oversharer. The second one is the hacker. The third one is the finisher, and the last one is the troublemaker. So we are going to be looking at how we can, spot all these guys when we encounter them on the internet, or better still, when our little one encounter them on the internet. So teachers should, should do well to actually like elaborate on this, the threats of these bad guys. So let's move forward and learn more about them. So I've been able to establish in this workshop so far that the training is for little one, and you agree with me that little one like words like hero and heroic. So this workshop I've actually tailored to use a word like that. So we're going to look at how we can train the student to be an internet hero. Because for them to be able to like tackle the bad guys, for them to be able to like overcome the bad guys, they need to be an internet hero. And as you can see, there are five characteristics of an internet. There are five characteristics of an internet hero. The first one, be sharp and share with care. The second one, be strong. The third one, be alert. The fourth one, be kind. And the last one, be brave. So majorly this workshop is based on these five characteristics in conjunction with the bad guys. So let's jump in and learn more about it. So the first one is be sharp and share with care. So what this particular session is targeted to achieve for us is to let the student know the importance of sharing and why they need to be careful when they are sharing information on the internet. Looking at what we have on our screen, this particular picture is used to demonstrate how people share on the internet when they click on the share button. So as a little one, so as a little one, we need to train them how to be careful when they are sharing on the internet, because once the share button is clicked on, there's no way they can actually retrieve. There's no way they can retrieve the information. So the information not longer belongs to them anymore. Okay, so just like I was saying, I just discovered now that the slide have not been moving. I'm really sorry for that. I think it was because of the internet disconnection. So I'm going to try to like feedback so that you guys can see what I've been talking about so far. So I'm going to try to flip forward. Okay. Right. So I already talked about bad guys. I already talked about bad guys. So what I'm actually saying about bad guys is that trainers should endeavor to, open the little one, let's open their eyes to the fact that there are bad guys on the internet. I mean, despite the fact that the internet is a very good place that everybody wants to be, we should, advise the little ones to be careful when they are online. So let's move forward and talk about them one after the other. So I also let us know that there are 5 characteristics of an internet hero. So this means that for little one, for children to be able to like overcome the bad guys on the internet, they need to be an internet hero. And there are 5 characteristics of an internet hero. Like I mentioned the other time, they need to be sharp and share with care. They need to be strong and secure their secrets. They need to be alert and they shouldn't fall for fake. They need to be kind. Of course, it is cool to be kind. They need to be brave, and if they are not sure, they should discuss with a trusted adult. So this is what the workshop is centered on, and we're going to be taking them one after the other to see how we can use this to improve the safety of our little one on the internet. Let's move forward. So we're talking about how the student can be careful when they're sharing on the internet. So by the time teachers are having this training, they should make a lot of emphasis on the effect of sharing. So I'm sure we can see what is on the screen. This particular image is used to demonstrate how we click on send button to actually share information over the internet. So like you can see, once if, the share button is clicked on, the information no longer in our control. So that means we release the information to the world. So it's no longer in our control. So it's very important to let the student know that if at all they are going to share, they should be mindful of what they share on the internet. They should be mindful of the information they share on the internet. Let's move forward and see more examples. So this particular video is produced by a man called Sod Bay. So Sod Bay shared a video of himself where he was making a barbecue of meat, and he shared it on the internet. And before you know it, this particular video go viral on the internet, and people started making their own copies of the particular video. So these are an example of how we can train the student and let them know that they need to be careful of what they share on the internet. Let's see more examples. Yeah, as you can see, we can see that the video is reproduced to different form. People try to mimic the video, right? So this is a very good example that we can use when we are training the students on how to be careful when they are sharing information on the internet. Let's see more examples. Right, so this particular example is a video produced by some comedian guys. So we just put it out there and the video go viral. So this particular video, though it's not harmful, but it has actually had a lot of views on YouTube. So imagine this kind of video is a kind of is one embarrassing video. So this is how it's going to go viral. So it is very important that we educate the students to be mindful of what they share on the internet. So the reason why we need to educate the students to be careful when they're sharing is because of the oversharer. So the oversharer, they share too much information online. They can share information about you and your family. They can compromise security. So we need to be very careful because of this guy. Teachers should actually make a lot of emphasis on this particular one. So let's see how we can stop oversharer from getting access to our information, or how we can control the settings of our devices so that we'll be able to determine who we are sharing a particular information with at a particular time. So this particular scenario is used to demonstrate how people gossip on the internet. Right. So the example of this particular lady, her name is Shipobisi. So she's saying that I ate my teacher. Right. So what she was talking to her friend, obviously, as you can see, and the friend will respond like me too. So unknowingly to them, they've forgotten that their teacher is one of their friends on the internet. And the teacher responded back to them that, do you realize you are a friend online? So this is how people get calls online. So it's very important to train the student, let them get comfortable with their settings. So if they need to share this on the internet, they need to determine who they are sharing with. So let's move to the next slide. So we need to train them to always check their settings. To always check their settings whenever they're sharing. So this is a video to illustrate how we can encourage the student to share positive information on the internet. I'm not going to play this video in this presentation. I will encourage teachers to, by the time you are having this training in your school, please do well to share, to play the video, so that the student can actually see what is inside there. But basically, the video is about how people can share positively, how we can encourage little ones to share positively on the internet. Let's move to the next slide. So having established the fact that we need to train our students to be very careful when they are sharing on the internet. So like I've said earlier on, teachers should endeavor to put the students in pairs of group, right? Put them in pairs of group and ask them questions like, is it not okay to share with anyone? Is it okay to share with family and friends? Is it okay to share with everyone? So you just throw this question to them randomly, and they will respond back to you. So as you can see in the table, we have different information that we can share and the one we can't share with anyone. For example, we should discourage the student from sharing their email password with anyone. We should discourage them from sharing an embarrassing photo of their friend sleeping. Of course, they can share their holiday dates. They can share dictionary meanings with their friend, right? So these are normal information they can share with people. So teachers should be able to throw the question to them, and rest assured that they're going to get a response back from the students. At this section, I want to welcome everybody to Let's Play. So we've come a long way. So this particular Let's Play is designed to allow us to have fun in the course of the training. So we're going to be going through questions, and I'm going to be expecting everyone to participate by commenting in the comment box. So let's play is a true or false statement. A true or false statement. So it's basically on what we discussed so far. So whenever teacher are having this training with their student, they should try to play the game with them. So let's play. So once it's on the internet, it's still there forever. True or false? So from what we have discussed so far, I'm sure we know what the answer is. So and I will appreciate if we can comment in the comment box. So I'm going to reveal the answer. It's actually true. Let's go to the next question. 1.37 billion people use the internet. True or false? So it's true. A lot of people are already on the internet. People like becoming a meme and going viral. True or false? This is mostly false. Sharing online can reveal our location. True or false? It's actually true. If I don't share with my parents, they won't see it. So this particular question, teachers should try to get answer from their pupils, because a lot of people believe that whenever they are sharing, once they already probably disable their parents from seeing their information, that their parent will not be able to see it. But it might not always be the case. But it might not always be the case. So I think it's false. So I want to congratulate us for completing the first chapter of this training. So let's move forward to the second chapter. So be strong and secure your secret. This is the second characteristic of an internet hero. Right, I'm sure we are following it. So teacher should endeavor to help the students to understand that before they can defeat the bad guys on the internet, they need to be strong and secure their secret whenever they are on the internet. They need to be strong and secure their secret whenever they are on the internet. So let's dive in and learn more about it. So the reason why we need to encourage students to be strong and secure their secret is because of the hacker. So the hackers, they are everywhere on the internet. Although they are human beings like us, but they are very smart and they are mostly dubious people. So they might get access into your account and find your personal information. So it's very important to train the group. In fact, this is one of the most important aspects of this workshop. So let's go further and learn more about it. What we can see on our screen is an example of the password people use for their platform or their email. So, but unfortunately, most people still use this kind of password. Right, so people still use this kind of password, like having a password like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are two easy passwords for hacker to guess. And these passwords are too popular. So teachers should just put the students in place of group, ask them to guess what are the things that are missing in this password. I'm sure the student will be able to guess, not sort of hackers. Right, so let's move forward and see how we can encourage them to create a strong password. So what is a strong password? So as always, teachers should call on students to ask them what they think about a strong password. So let's ask them what they think about a strong password before revealing the answer to them. Right, so a strong password must include 8 to 12 characters. A strong password must be a mixture of numbers and letters. A strong password must have uppercase and lowercase characters. And a strong password must have a special characters. So these are 4 characteristics of a strong password. So having said this, don't let us forget that this training is for little ones. So if we are saying that they shouldn't use a very weak password and that they should use a very strong password instead. So how can we help them to memorize a strong password? How can we help them? So we are going to look at that. So teachers should be able to let the student know that they can't write their password down, or someone might find their password. So we have to develop a way to remember the password. So we need to discourage the student from writing their password down because someone might find it. So we have to develop a way to help them remember it. So let's see how we can help them to remember the password. So like what we can see on our screen, this is a combination. This is like a sample of how to form a strong password by putting words and numbers together, putting character with special numbers to form the password. So let's move forward to see what we have next. So now that we already trained the student on how to create a strong password, now let's train them on how to actually remember it. So to create a strong password, we can encourage the student to take a first word of their favorite story, like the one we can see on the screen. So this is a story. So ask them to think of a phrase or an event that they can remember. Then ask them to take first letter from each word and put it together to form a strong password. So these are the sample of how we can train them to create a strong password. So this is another example. So as you can see, we now have a strong password. We now have a strong password. So when we are done with this, we should ask them to go to the chalkboard. You can call them one after the other to actually practice it, to write it on the chalkboard and see if they are going to remember their password. So you can keep this going on for like a minute. When they are done, ask them to clean the board and just ask them randomly what's their password. So if they can remember, that means they're already comfortable with the technique. So let's go to the next slide. This is do or don't. So do or don't is just like let's play. So it's also a game. It is designed to allow us to have fun in this workshop. So I'm going to go over like 2 or 3 examples, 3 questions, and flip over the rest. So from what we've learned so far, I'm going to be bringing up these questions, and I will require people to comment in the comment box if it is do or don't. So like the first one is saying use a unique password for each of your information accounts. Do or don't. I'm sure we know what the answer is. So it is not advisable to use a unique password for each of your important accounts. So it's actually do. Use personal information, name, address, phone number when you make a password. Do or don't. So it's actually don't. So you don't use your personal information like your name, your address, or phone number as your password. So the remaining example are the same. So I'm going to flip over them. This particular one is very important. I want to call our attention to it. So whenever we're having the training with the students, we should discourage them from sharing their password with people. We should especially those people they don't trust. We should discourage them from sharing their password with people. Yes, we just finished another session of the training. So let's move to the next chapter. So this is the third characteristics of an internet hero. So teachers should encourage students to be alert and they should not fall for fake on the internet. So everyone knows, I'm sure we all know the little ones. So they never take candy from a stranger. So the same thing applicable online. So it is very important to be able to know the difference between what is real and what is fake. So in other words, the purpose of this particular chapter is to enable us to know what is real and fake on the internet. So the finishers are those people that populate fake things on the internet. They can gain access to your personal information by tricking you. They can harm your device with malware. So we need to be alert because of the feature. We need to train the students, the pupils. We need to train them to be very alert because of the feature. So they are pretenders. They are fake people on the internet. Let's look at a sample on how to spot a filter on the internet. So looking at the sample we have on the screen, this is like a message. This is like a message. And looking at this message from the information we are seeing on the screen, so this message is saying, oh my God, click here to win 1 million and see everyone who is in love with you. So looking at this, when we're having this training with the student, we should make particular emphasis on this. Yeah, pointing to the link. So there's a link that is embedded here. So it's a good idea not to click on links unless we are sure they are legitimate. But little ones they can quickly fall for this kind of trick. They can easily fall for this kind of trick. So teachers should make emphasis on this. We should let them know that before they click on any link on the internet, you need to be sure what is there. If they are not sure, they need to talk to their parents or a trusted adult about it. Yeah, this is another example. So this example, as you can see, it's a Google mail. It appears like a Google mail, right? But looking at the URL, looking at the web address, you will notice that it's different thing we're having there entirely. So in other words, the URL is not the same with the information we're having on the screen. It's not the same with the information we're having on the screen. So teachers should endeavor to let the student know that whenever they are on any site, they should be on the lookout for the URL. They should make sure the URL is, the URL correlates with the information they are getting. So let's see more examples. Welcome to another year's of game. So this one is real or fake. So from what we discovered, or from what we discussed about Finsta, so we are going to play this game. So looking at what we have on our screen, so these are a sample of question we can ask whenever we're on a particular site. Before continue with the site, we can ask, does the site include indication of a trustworthy site like Baggies? Does the site URL match the name and title you are looking for? Does the offer seem too good to be true? Are there any purpose? Does the URL start with HTTPS preceded by green padlock? Is the person or the site asking you to reveal your private information? So these are the sample of questions, we can open the student's eyes. Let's open their eyes to this kind of questions. Before they can continue with any site, they should make sure they are sure of all this. So let's look at more examples. So we are going to play a game again. So looking at this scenario, this is a mail. It looks like a mail. So looking at this mail, I want us to tell you if this is real or fake. Of course, we can always do that in the comment box. So you can leave your answer in the comment box. So looking at this information, the subject is important membership information. Then where the mail is sent from. Then the body of the mail is saying, "Dear Chairman, a big thank you for your membership with us, because you have been such an amazing member. We would like to upgrade you to premium at no extra cost." So I'm sure we can tell if this is real or fake. Yeah, this is another example. So this example is a website selling donuts. So these guys are into donuts, and looking at the URL of the site, we can see that the URL is preceded with the green padlock with HTTPS, and their URL is it corresponds then with what they are selling, which is donuts. So obviously this site is safe and is real. This is another example. So teachers should try to discourage the student from accepting any offer they receive on their phone, especially if they have not registered for anything. For example, like what we're having now, this one is saying you want an iPhone. Congratulations, you want an iPhone. So as a little one, they might want to forfeit him of this by just accepting the offer, and by so doing, their information will be hacked by hackers. So we should encourage them not to jump on any offer they see on the internet. They need to be sure where the information is coming from. Let's go to the next example. Right, so this is a very good example. Like someone receiving a message, and this particular message is saying, "You seem like a fun person to hang out with. Let's have some fun together. Can you add me to your favorite list?" So this sounds like a message from a stranger. And as a little one, they might want to jump on this. So it's a very good idea to encourage them to always, inform their parents or their teacher or a trusted adult before they accept this kind of offer, before they accept this kind of invitation. So that is it. I'm going to flip over the rest of the examples, and yet we are done with another chapter of this presentation. Let's move forward and see and discuss more characteristics. Be kind. It's good to be kind on the internet. This is another characteristic of an internet hero. I'm sure you must have heard the phrase, treat others the way you want to be treated. You can ask the student what they think about this. So this also applies online. So you treat others the way you want them to treat you. This means that you should only post, comment, or forward something if you won't mind someone doing the same to you. So it is very important to make emphasis on this whenever we are training the students. So unfortunately, despite the fact that we need to encourage the students to be kind on the internet, there are troublemakers. There are troublemakers out there. So all they do is to come and hurt people's feelings, and they are very cruel to others on the internet. So the worst thing about the troublemaker is that they have bad vibes and they can spread, negativity around. So that is why it is so important to use our internet power to stop troublemakers whenever we're online. So let's talk about them. So again, we can ask the student to raise their hand if they've ever seen anyone being nasty online. If they have ever seen anybody being nasty online, so we can give them some time to think about this. So, but the best part of our kindness is to make everyone feel good. So let's encourage them that they should always try to make everybody feel good whenever they're on the internet. Even the people who give the kindness to them, they should replicate the same thing. So to demonstrate this, we are going to look at people and how they behave on the internet. We are going to look at how they behave on the internet, how people can affect other people's feelings on the internet. Let's move forward. So let's look at ways to spread kindness on the internet. The ways to spread kindness on the internet. And we're going to be looking at this with examples, with some scenario. Like the first one we have, like for example, someone found your friend's phone and sent a really mean message about another student to a bunch of people on our soccer team. So in this kind of scenario, how are we going to react? Like, so you can just ask the student in their peers of the group, like, how are you going to react in this kind of scenario? Let's see another scenario. Someone is posting serious mean comments about one of the students in the class on your class blog. So this is actually gossiping. So we should try to discourage them from gossiping on the internet. We shouldn't gossip about other people. So for little one to be kind on the internet, we should encourage them not to pass gossip. Just like I've said, they should not pass gossip around on the internet. They should block mean or inappropriate behavior. They should always support people on the internet. They should be an upstander, and they should take responsibility. These are 5 ways we can encourage the little one to, extend kindness on the internet. Just as always, we just finished another chapter of this presentation, and I'm sure we are following and we are enjoying this workshop. So let's see what we have next. Be brief. When you are in doubt, talk it out. So being on the internet require us to be brief. Being on internet it's require us to know what we are doing. So teachers should let the student know that whenever they are on the internet, they need to be brief. So when they are not sure about a particular thing, they should try to discuss with their mother, their parents, their teacher, or a trusted adult, like I've said. So for them to be brief on the internet, like I've said, they should say something. If they see anything, they should talk it out. They should always, report and blog inappropriate content. They should always get proof, and they should not be afraid while on the internet. So let's talk about them. Let's learn more. So this is an example of how we can encourage students to be brief when they come across this kind of scenario. For example, you get a chat from someone with whom you are not familiar with. For example, I saw you in my this is a message saying, I saw you in math class today. You are cute. What's your address? Can I come over to hang out? Right. So this is how they can extend kindness. If it is their friend or the person they know very well in their class, they can actually accept the offer, or the better still they can discuss with their parents about it. So this is another scenario. Let's say, for example, a student accidentally download a virus onto their laptop. So how can we train them to respond to this? We know that we are dealing with little ones here, and they might not necessarily know what the virus is. They might not necessarily know what it is. So as a teacher and as a guidance, we should always check their device. We should always check their devices and make sure that it has antivirus, is protected, so that their device will not get attacked with virus, and by so doing it can just damage their device. So we should encourage them to always watch out for virus on their internet. So this kind of message, you see a message that says everyone wear purpose tomorrow, but don't tell Rachel. So this kind of message is more or less like someone is trying to hide something from someone. So we should always encourage the students to always be open, always be open. They should always say what they mean. They should always be open to their fellow students, their parents, or people around them, especially whenever they're on the internet. So this one is a sample of, for example, a student posts a group photo in a public account, and you hate the way you look in it. Would you report that photo or not? So how can respond to this? So are you going to say that they should take the picture out because you don't like the way you look in it, or you politely meet the admin and call the admin attention to this? Okay, I don't like the way I look in this picture. Please, is there anything you can do about it? So we should always train them to be always polite, especially when they're on the internet. Yeah, so that is it. We just completed the 5 characteristics of internet hero, and we've also discussed how we can use this to actually overcome the bad guys on the internet. So once again, the first one is to be smart and share with care, to be alert and restrain our students to always watch out for fake information on the internet. Be strong and secure your secret. Be kind. It is cool to be kind. And the last one, be brief. If you are not sure, make sure you discuss with trusted adults or your parents. So these are 5 characteristics of an internet hero. So I want to congratulate us for participating in this workshop. As you can see, this is a slide. So this slide is going to, we're going to release this slide with schools. So that by the time you're having this training in your school, they can use the same slide to educate their students on how they can be safe on the internet. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank you for participating in this workshop. I'm very grateful for having everyone. Once again, my name is Busayo. So if there's any question that you might like to ask, I would like us to direct it to Bukola, as Bukola will always get in touch with you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.